And I was like, Ma, is it supposed to look like that?
I would say like 50% of my clients will come into a store wanting to get color matched and they're scared almost.
Getting wisdom is the wisest thing you can do, and whatever else you do, develop good judgment. Proverbs 4 and 7, New Living Translation. Welcome back to another episode of The Royal Professional. My name is Rokia, also known as MsQueenRo. I'm a brand strategist, owner of Royal Consulting, a one-stop shop created to support your business, your brand, and or career development needs. If you want to learn more about me and how my business can support yours, be sure to check out my website, link in the description box below. If you want to see more of me and more of a personal state, then head over to my lifestyle vlogs called the My Royal Diaries. But enough about that. Enough about me. I have this beautiful, lovely person on my show today. I'm so great to introduce her. Her name is Anka. She is an esthetician and a makeup artist. Let me just let her introduce herself and tell you, the Royals, more about her.
Hi, Rokia. I'm so excited to be on here. Thanks for introducing me. My name is Anka. I am a licensed esthetician and makeup artist here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I am actually originally from Missouri. I was born and raised in a small town in Missouri, and I moved here about 3 years ago when I began my journey as an esthetician. I have been doing it since 2021 and have currently started my own business as of 2022. And I'm just excited to be here with you.
Now, in one of my episodes, my earlier episodes, I did have another beauty entrepreneur on. So I'm really excited to. If you watch that episode, if you have, it was with Cheyenne Taylor. She's actually a wax specialist. But I'm excited to have Anka on because this is a totally different part of the industry. This is more makeup and more. I'm probably sure she's going to talk about a little bit of skincare as well in this as well. But as you guys heard in that episode, I'm also an esthetician, but I don't do all that work anymore too much. I'm more on the business side. I'm really excited to talk about today's title, which I give my guests a chance to choose the titles. And when Anka brought this to me, I was so excited. I used to talk about this subject when I was in corporate America a lot, but from a corporate America standpoint. But inclusivity in beauty, does it really exist? I'm really excited to talk about this title. Hopefully, I won't get the word wrong because inclusivity is a tongue twister, and I may twist it up. So don't come for me in the comments. But Anka, what made you choose this title, this subject to talk about today?
Yeah, diversity and inclusion is just such an important aspect in every single work setting. And I think that I wasn't really aware of the holes in the industry of beauty before I entered it. I was kind of in a corporate setting too. I was in retail management prior to this. And, there's definitely a different way of approaching diversity and inclusion in every single work field. And in beauty, it gets a little technical because you go into like product development too.
Mhm.
But I chose it because it's just something that I'm passionate about. And it's something that I think needs to be incorporated in every business. I guess, I mean, you would know the technical term. What would like a business model?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it
Yep.
should be incorporated in every business model. Now it's kind of a matter of like where we put it, how we do it, right?
This is not tone inclusivity. This is not true inclusivity. This should not be the darkest shade. This is not inclusive. This is not inclusive. This is not inclusive.
How do you think beauty brands are incorporating diversity and inclusion in their business models now? Just looking from the outside in.
It lacks,
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
Yeah.
Every time I go into the store, like not gonna name any brands here, but some stores that I go into, I still cannot believe that there are just let's just take the obvious or the easy part. Color, complexion, the foundations. it still lacks in, especially when you get into the deep colors.
Yeah.
I think all deep skinned people are red, like warm, or have that like orangey type, and that's just not true.
Right. And it's honestly just very discouraging for a majority of the clientele that come into those stores. I mean, I would say like 50% of my clients will come into a store wanting to get color matched and they're scared almost, like they're intimidated and they're scared because they already like have this perception that their color is not going to be available for them.
And I started wearing foundation later in life, probably when I got closer to like college. And the reason is not so much because, well, I didn't really know about it, but mainly because I didn't know how, because there's a good part to wearing foundation. It protects your face from the elements, the sun as well. But the real reason why I did not want to wear foundation was because, okay, Ma, don't come for me because I'm about to talk about you right now. My mom used to put on foundation, and I was like, Ma, is it supposed to look like that? Like, it was a little bit ashy sometimes. It was too light for her. Or sometimes at the start, when she tried to change the color, it was a little bit too dark. And now that I think about it, it wasn't really her fault. I don't think there was a lot of colors that really match people that look like me.
Yeah. And that was years back.
Yeah.
Like, and we've come far. We
A little
have.
bit. A little
We
bit.
but it's still not there. And this we're just talking about color matching. There's so many other aspects to it too. Like, it are the makeup brands providing for people with disabilities, people who aren't able to, there's so many other things that they just have not touched on yet, and we're just now skimming on like color matching people.
Yeah. Which says a lot because how many years have we had that we had to deal with color matching for all this time? But you're right, talking about with this physical disabilities as well, right?
Mhm.
Are they making the bottles, the products available for anyone to be able to take it out or use it? Is it coming in like a pump or is it you have to scoop it out? Whatever it makes best for people with accessibility to be able to use it. How has diversity and inclusion helped you in your business, Anka?
Well, I would definitely consider myself still kind of at the forefront of my career. Like I said, I graduated in 2021. I started taking clients and, doing my own business in 2022. So it's been a year, but I think that it's something that's going to be part of my business model. Like, and it's going to be pretty high in the priorities. Um,
Can you give us an example?
So most of my business and clientele comes through social media right now. So I think creating a safe space through my media outlets is really important. And a big business driver is actually through Facebook. So I definitely try to be a part of as many communities as I can through Facebook and putting my name out there. And then I use Instagram as like my main platform. And on my Instagram, I try to promote as much diversity and inclusion as I can.
Hold up. Pose, yeah. Pose. Pose, yeah. Pose.
At my house in the middle of the night, I'm trying to.
And she does because I follow her. Speaking of following, we're going to pause a second for the diversity and inclusion. Let's get a little bit into, because a lot of my followers are entrepreneurs. And I do want to kind of go into how you actually are growing your business. And let's start from the beginning. How did you come up with the name The Face Artist?
The Face Artist. So I am an esthetician. I'm a licensed esthetician, and skincare is a big part of my brand as well. And I wanted to incorporate both skincare and makeup in my name. And I work on the face. I do art on the face. So that's kind of just where I came up with the name.
All this information is going to be down below in the description box. Her Instagram information, how you can get into contact with her if you are listening from the Charlotte area, how you can access her so that you can do your face. But Royals, y'all need to follow her from a content creation standpoint. Anka and her transitions.
Oh my God. Oh, thank you, Rokia. Coming from you, like, that's so
I
much.
mean, I'm pretty good when it comes to social media, but because Anka is an artist, she does her transitions from like it's way more than a before and after. It's that reason because you will be entertained from her content creation standpoint. However, it does give her page does give great examples of how she does well with makeup, and we're in the theme or the celebration of Halloween now. And Anka is great when it comes to Halloween makeup. I can do the basics. If
I love
anybody asks me, I'll do the basics. But Halloween, she can do a whole. It's a lot, and I love the fact she actually has some examples on her page where she did herself for Halloween. They're so dope. So again, follow Anka the underscore face artist on Instagram. I'll make sure to make it's in the description box below. Going back into putting diversity in for social media. We were talking off camera, and Anka was saying that she follows a lot of communities on Facebook. She's active on Instagram, but follows communities, beauty communities on Facebook. And in those communities is where she sees underrepresented communities, anybody in the communities, any type of, just to make sure everybody it's under the diversity and inclusion category. And that's for the most part how she gets her clients. But I think the reason why is because they see she is a person representing the community, right? And we feel more comfortable going to somebody like Anka because we feel they understand our needs from an inside and out perspective. Am I correct in saying that, Anka?
Yeah, for sure. Um, Now it's not an easy thing to do. Like, and speaking from just an artist perspective, like being able to meet all types of clientele needs is not easy. And I'm not saying that I'm completely mastered in it yet either, but it's definitely something I strive for.
Awesome, awesome talk. We're moving on to the next question. All right, Anka, this is what people are looking to hear to get the answer to. We want to really hear your opinion. Why do you think it's so hard for beauty brands to be inclusive?
This is a tough question, like, because I don't know, there's probably so many reasons, but the number one reason I think of, first thing I think of is money.
I
Like,
would say that's a good reason. Yeah.
but
Expand on that.
I don't know if these brands have like enough money to provide something for everyone. I don't know. Right.
These are some big brands.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
true.
feel like and a lot of these brands are publicly owned. So there are people that provide money for this. And I do believe that if they really wanted to, they can find a budget to expand their inclusion
Yeah, and
part
that's
of their
then we
company.
go into whether so are they're not wanting to budget out for
Pretty
that.
much.
You know, there are big brands, like, there are big brands, Gucci, Dior, that aren't inclusive. Like, I don't have a shade in Gucci. That's crazy.
Yeah. That is crazy to be. Now, I'm not trying to take up for them, but maybe like some of those brands were catered more to what bags, accessories. So when they tried to go into the beauty industry, they didn't think to have maybe focus groups.
But again,
Can
like,
we?
what's the excuse, right?
Yeah, and I'm not trying to make excuses for these brands, but in the same token, this is 2023. Why are we still talking about Anka not being able to find a shade in a big brand like Gucci?
Mhm.
Come on now. So that is an example of big groups or big companies or big brands not asking people of color to the table. I
Yeah.
remember when I worked in corporate America, and one of the webinars that I used to host, when we talked about diversity and inclusion, And we got pretty down and dirty in those meetings because we talked about the fact that there were not a lot of underrepresented groups, Black and brown people, that were not a part of the C-suite. When I say C-suite, I mean like the executives, the higher ups. There were plenty of those communities in the middle management. But when it got up to president, vice president, those higher positions, there were not a lot of us represented. And that's a problem because those are the people that's making the decisions on what should happen down below.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying any of these companies that we just named, like Gucci or Dior or anybody, that's their problem. I don't know. I don't work for these companies, nor do I know their business dynamics. But it is a prime example of big Fortune 500 companies that do not have underrepresented groups in their higher C-suite positions to help make these decisions, to maybe even think about to probably have a focus group.
Yeah.
One good thing that they can have, and one easy group they can have, are employee resource groups. When I worked in corporate America, we had a pretty good number of employee resource groups, or some people call them business resource groups, where we did have like the African American group. We had people with disabilities group. We had a lot of groups. And in those groups, we talked about subjects like this that were subjects to where they had underrepresented communities representing them. And then we also talked about how we can fix it. So this is just an example of something that's small but big that can help these big corporations to say, hey, we don't have enough foundation colors in our stock right now that just came out.
Right. And you say that, and the first brand I think of that actually did, make a statement with that is Fenty. And that was only like a couple of years ago. But that was the first time we really saw a woman of color in power of making these brands and like being in charge of these brands that can, produce foundation shades for people.
Yes.
Which is crazy because I think Fenty launched in like 2018 or something.
It was recent. It was pretty recent. Yeah, but big ups, kudos to Rihanna for thinking ahead and thinking the fact that we don't have enough brands to represent us. And also looking at it from a business standpoint, Rihanna could have just stayed in music. She thought to expand to get to what? Doesn't she have lingerie as well? And she has undergarments and she has Fenty. That's so great to have someone of color to actually expand and to think about people we don't have enough products like that to help represent us. And that's just one. There's other products as well. Briogeo, that's a hair line that's by an African American woman. What's some others? Rare Beauty is by Selena Gomez. Definitely doing better. One Size that not only represents the Asian community, the Southeastern community, but also represents the trans community as well. So that's big in itself as well.
Yeah. Oh, House Labs, Lady Gaga's brand. Also, but also as we're saying this, I'm kind of noticing a pattern where the like celebrity led brands are the ones more that represent more inclusivity. That's interesting. I don't know what the parallel to that is, but
well, I have a theory. One theory is a lot of the people that are underrepresented follow these groups, follow these celebrities.
Yeah.
So why not come up with products or items to help these type of communities as well?
Yeah, I guess they have more of a link to the average consumer.
Yeah.
And kind of have seen the gap and tried to fill it.
I highly agree. And I'm pretty sure that they asked these people from these groups to come in to test them, to give input, to have focus groups. I'm pretty sure that happens.
Yeah. And even like with their marketing, like they do a better job of being more diverse.
Oh, goodness. Can we talk about marketing? That right there.
That's a whole other branch.
That's another thing that is just not represented really well when it comes to diversity and inclusion.
Right.
I mean, we are just now seeing more marketing around people of color.
Mm-hmm. And even then, it's like one person.
And then, I mean, not to down my sisters, but I'm pretty on the light side, but then we don't have enough people that is on the deep colored side as well.
Yeah. You know, one of our NARS representatives had told me that like they basically recycle those models for like every brand. Like that's their job, to be the models for these brands, and it's the
That's
same
a
girl on
shame.
every campaign. So
So we can't go out and find other models from people that are of other religions.
I love seeing different types of people being able to, you know, express themselves through makeup.
This has been an absolute lovely topic, very interesting topic that we talked about. One more point I do want to make when it comes to like the marketing and catering to other communities. These beauty brands need to stop overpricing, trying to overprice us out. Like we will buy products of good quality, we'll spend money on it, but in the same token, you don't have to overcharge us. And I don't know the reason why. Comment below if you guys have an idea of like why do you think brands want to like overcharge sometimes when it comes to a beauty brand that comes from a person of color.
Yeah. I mean, I think part of it is like they know that there is a scarcity, so they're able to
Mhm.
price their things like these outrageous amounts because they know that the consumer is there, but the product is not.
Mm. That's a good point. It's a shame, but a good point. Okay, Anka.
Thank you. Yeah, I had so much fun doing
This
this.
was so great. I absolutely had so much fun. I appreciate all your knowledge, your opinions, your wisdom when it comes to this topic and just the beauty industry alone. Let's recap the session. I mean, we talked about everything from how companies, brands can be stay diverse and included to include these certain communities. How can they improve their marketing? How not to overprice us? Just starting with making sure that we have things like complexion shades for every color, including people of color in focus group, people from different backgrounds, gender, sex, anything into their focus groups. Did I miss anything, Anka?
No, I think you got it. I think it's a really important conversation to have, and I'm glad I got to have it with you. I hope that the beauty community continues to grow and like having these conversations becomes easier. Yeah, I think I really enjoyed myself doing this today. Thank you for having me. My
Thank
Instagram handle is _face artist. I am always posting and keeping up on there. So definitely give me a follow if you can.
You're so welcome. And please follow Anka. She would greatly appreciate it. I would greatly appreciate it. That means you're actually listening to my show. And so I appreciate that. And send her a DM, tell her that you came from YouTube and that you heard my show. That would be perfect. So she'll know that she was of value to everybody who's listening. Again, I want to say thank you so much, Anka. If there are any comments about today's episode that you have any questions you may want to ask, if it's for Anka, I'll relay it to her. From just put it down below. Also, if you have any topic ideas for future the Royal Professional, let me know as well because I need some ideas. That would be perfect. Connect with us all on social media. All of our information again is down below in the description box. And most importantly, please subscribe to the channel. There's other things you can watch. I also travel around the world solo, and then I also have some lifestyle vlogs, some mommy vlogs that I have with my daughter and I. Make sure you like and share this with somebody too. So share this with somebody in the beauty industry. How can maybe this help them and help put this of value as well?
Thank you.